Tonight, a Target 11 investigation exposes potentially critical limitations of the 911 emergency system. Now that 80% of 911 calls come from cell phones, investigator Rick Earl discovered that important information like your cell number and location may not be relayed to 911 dispatchers. And this all came to light after an investigation into the death of a woman earlier this year who managed to call 911 on her cell phone but couldn't talk.
Anthony Wells would call his wife several times a day while he was working just to check in with her. But one day last winter, he couldn't reach her, and he started to worry.
But as I'm driving home, I'm constantly calling. I can't get her on the house phone. I can't get her on the cell phone.
On his way home from work, Anthony Wells tried to reach his wife, Gina. When he arrived at their home in West Mifflin, he found her unconscious on the couch.
I started yelling for my wife. And then there was no response. She didn't move. I knew something was wrong, and I'm yelling at my daughter. I'm yelling, call 911, call 911, call 911. And it was a little chaotic. Actually, it was crazy.
Paramedics arrived, but it was too late for his 47-year-old wife and grandmother, who had a history of health problems, including asthma and a heart condition. She had a pacemaker put in about 5 years ago.
I don't know how many days later afterwards we were still numb about this. And my daughter had even asked, she was upset. She's still upset. You know, she says, you know, how come she didn't call anybody? Which was the question.
And that's when Wells made a shocking discovery while looking through his wife's cell phone.
I see 911 caller on the phone.
What was your reaction when you saw that?
My heart froze.
It was a 55-second call made to 911 at 11:49 a.m., but no one ever responded. Wells reached out to 911, but didn't get any answers.
I just want to know what happened. I mean, apparently the system failed, as far as I'm concerned, whether it's the 911, I don't know if it's the system itself or human error, but something failed.
We took his concerns to the head of the 911 center.
It was not your average 911 call. The early review of the incident was that it was an open line.
Matt Brown is the director of emergency services for Allegheny County. He discovered the call was made from a Verizon cell phone, but connected through a T-Mobile tower. And because it used another carrier's tower, there was no number or location when the call came into the 911 center in Moon Township. And Brown says there was no one talking on the other end.
And when that happens, there's no information with it. So with no one talking on the line and no information, there's nowhere to go.
We reached out to T-Mobile, and they say when a wireless customer calls 911, the device attempts to deliver the call over that carrier's network. But when it's not available, the call will connect with another available network as required by federal law. When that occurs, enhanced calling features, including location data, may not be conveyed, and the call is assigned a random number and transferred to 911.
We call them a pseudo phone number or a fake phone number, but it's registered to their network so they can process it through their network and get it to us, the 911 center.
Is that what happened? Did the call come in here?
Correct.
But there was no one on the line?
There's no one on the line.
We also reached out to Verizon, and they confirmed the information and said location data may not be transmitted if the cell phone isn't configured for that provider. Allegheny County says if the call had hit a Verizon tower, critical information, including the cell number, would have been included.
We would have had the information. That was the carrier. You've got an account with them, so all the information could be there. Now, it could still be difficult to zero down on location, but we've got technology to try and battle that.
That technology is called Rapid SOS, and it allows dispatchers to pinpoint a cell phone location.
And we punch in that phone number, and it'll give us exactly where you are.
And they say if they had a location for Gina Wells, it's standard operating procedure to send emergency crews. Thomas says improvements are on the way as early as next year. It's called Next Gen 911 and allows wireless callers to send images, video, and data. It will also provide a location, even if a call jumps carriers like Gina Wells did. For her husband, it didn't come soon enough.
I'm sorry. It just hurts so bad.
Emergency responders tell me anyone with serious health issues should have access to either a landline or a medical alert button to contact 911. That way, dispatchers are sure to get an exact location. Ryan and Lisa,